doing anything negative towards you. These are a play of energies, and when you start to play with the energies, there are real effects and either blessings or punishments that will come about for your iniquity. So, in other words, if you make a negative bed, you're going to have a negative bed. If you're going to make a positive bed, you make a positive bed. Even amongst negative people, you are still doing a negative and a positive, but that is even more balanced than just being negative and negative. Negative people or the problems also can be used for you to condition you in such a way that you're overwhelmed or worried or feeling of hopeless. But when you know how to navigate through procedures and understanding and beliefs of how to maneuver your thoughts and choose positive thoughts, positive structures, and the belief systems, which will motivate you even more as you start to become better, smarter, stronger. Even other people will be aware that there's something different about you. And so therefore you don't let fear guide your actions nor control your actions from the source. And you do not let other people try to guilt you into believing something or doing something for them which is wrong, but they say it's right in order because they choose to covet. When problems happen to you, you can choose to stay functional and motivated by a form of procedures, knowing the beliefs that you have, knowing the beliefs they have, knowing the structures you have, knowing the structures they have. So therefore you don't become defeated because you're staying focused, you're staying productive, and you're maintaining control of yourself. So you're rolling with the punches, and sometimes the answer is, again, the problem is nothing more than maintaining patience. Understand any situation clearly and then create a positive solution. So positives that can even so you're being so positive that even your enemies will consider you as wise. Because a true positive person not only will try to find a solution for you, but find a solution for your enemy that they may even benefit from. Or they may also see that your solution didn't require it to be negative. Your solution didn't require you to having hurt them or kill them in order to fulfill your solution. Your solution was so good that you even had it so even they can look at you and say, you know, that was good. That was a good idea. They had nothing to do with it. They didn't help because they wouldn't have helped. They'll give you $20 million. They'll pay somebody else $20 million to fight against you, but wouldn't give $1 to help you. Although the person they gave the money to was more likely to be your enemy than you yourself. So you choose to find a solution that everybody can win, regardless. And so you do the best that you can for this objective. The positive solution allows everyone to win in some way or another. And when some people consider it wrong, it was right as long as they was doing their wrong. But if other people doing wrong to them, now it's wrong. Because they're breaking the law of hypocrisy. Although if you're being direct, you may want to do so in such a way that even the person that you're hurting saves face, like a private conversations, and do not let anger or regret or any negative energy or feeling direct you into reciprocating with such energy. Instead, use compassion and logic, regardless of themselves as well. You may receive a problem that you don't want solved, such as being let go from a job that you don't like entirely, that you don't like at all, or like someone projecting negatives for you to hook onto the negative and negativity. So they're just egging you on, so you don't fall into that plan. And problems that also may be a blessing in disguise. So you don't want to react too quickly. And using these negative projections and following a positive structure enables you to become stronger. Dealing with problems are a way of life. Focusing on your possibilities. Know the difference between what you don't have, the power to do, the power not to do, and using that all in a positive manner. You may also want to plan a positive or multiple positive solutions when to consider one solution to a problem, and then you navigate through those possible solutions in order to find the best solution. And you may also want to use the other ones as possible backup solutions, because some people like to continue the same problem hoping you'll find the same solution. Therefore, you're stuck in this wheel of worry because you're regurgitating the same solution to the same problem. So that's where worry comes in, doing the same thing over and over again. But when none of these solutions are exactly the same, there's different timing, different people, different energy, different words. But when you're considering these solutions, you may want to sometimes use slightly different solutions. And again, these are all procedures. So if you can solve one problem, you know that's that procedure. And if there's another problem, you solve that procedure. And it also helps other people, because another person may have the same problem, and you can say, oh, this is simple. You can just simply do this, and then your problem is gone. When you explain a problem to others, explain it with a pause, then calmly and rationally without getting over emotional, and know all the facts, then addressing the problem and try not to name call. Instead of name calling, you can say, well, you're doing this and this and this. Explain the problem, not agitate the problem with name calling. Although if you name call them, and under that name calling, the definition of that name calling has an accurate semantic property of who you're describing by their actions, then it's still accurately describing them, but it doesn't resolve the problem. So it is better off not name calling individuals, and stick to the facts, stick to the point, and see if they can and do want to choose to work in such a way that it would help them and you in the process, where both sides can win. If not, and it's only one-sided, then it's easier to maneuver around them, but not in a negative way. Maneuver around them in a positive way, so they too, in the end, can see, well, this guy or this person had no ill feeling towards me and didn't speak or act in such a way that was detrimental towards them. But there's also something greater that comes into play that is beyond individuals, and that is the energy itself. One energy used was depleting and deteriorating, and also has a negative boomerang effect, while the other energy, the positive energy, doesn't have that negative boomerang effect. It has a positive energy, a positive boomerang effect, if you want, and a feeling of pleasantry and power and enhancement of gain, understanding, and wisdom. Wisdom, understanding, wisdom, knowledge, and then therefore comes understanding. The negative force is continuous problems machine. The negative force will provide you with multiple problems during the course of your lifetime. Your job is to come up with multiple solutions, and the negative will come up with many more problems, and you will come up with many more solutions over and over until all the procedures are laid out. Then there will be no more maneuverability between negative and positives, but strictly a positive structure. Your job is to overcome the multiple problems and again, be at one with the structure. And do not choose to avoid negative people, but instead learn how to deal with them, how to communicate with them. A lot of this will be simplified and we'll be going over as you go on through all the lessons. And it is a very simple system once you understand it, but if you don't understand it, it's very complicated, and that's the reason why so many people are lost. And you choose not to avoid these negatives. There's no need to be fight or flight, but instead learn how to deal with them. Life was not meant to be this complicated. Such as it is, we could rise to the occasion, and it doesn't stop lest we all become positive. Then we all gain from uniting our energies, from fighting one another to working with one another, and begin in a cooperated mode as opposed to war and uncooperation and hoarding and destroying, but to flow into a more solution-oriented system which will elevate human understanding to the point which has not yet been seen. Moreover, the power and energy that will be possessed will be far greater than harnessing of all of the total negative energy. You are given many problems in your life, mostly due to negative people. And you can choose to keep positive beliefs regardless of these circumstances. Sometimes a problem needs multiple solutions, because at times what you had ordinarily thought was one problem was really a multiple of problems, such as one problem hiding behind another problem, as in a can of worms. Fear and worry will not solve your problems. Instead, choose to find the exact problem. Plan and brainstorming a solution will help to understand the problem. Then you pick that problem to the true solution. More or less, it's better to sleep on it. And then by the time you awaken, you should have a solution that everyone can benefit from. There are negative people that may try to convince you that they are in it with you and that they can solve your problems, but they may happen instead. What may happen instead is that you may find yourself eventually worse off than you had originally started, because they were lying to you all along, and they themselves are the reason that you are continuing in this problem. Possibilities are being within the ability, capacity, or realization, the condition or fact of being possible, of one's utmost power. The number of things that can happen at any clip of time are numerous, and a wide variety of things that can happen at any given second. Negative people can use the odds of possibilities to project negatives onto you at any given time, as in interference of procedures with possibilities. Also, this law of possibilities can be perverted by man and be done naturally in life, such as, let's say you're walking along and a signal light falls on your head, therefore killing you. You're riding your bike and you get struck by lightning. You're driving on a bridge and it collapses. Now, whether the incident in question was done by someone or whether it was a natural occurrence is not the point I'm trying to make. But the point I am trying to make is that you could choose to live your life every day to the fullest and live every day to the best of your ability and live in the present. Do all you can to be proud of who you are, your life, because you have only one life to live and one life to give. And unless you live in a format of understanding how you want your life to be and how you want this world to be, then you will have died with too many regrets to count on. But on the other hand, if you had lived your life to the fullest with new enthusiasm and with projection for a better future, you will have had lived your life in full, and you could die with honor. And having had been committed to being positive, you will find that you can be content. You can choose to be positive about what problems occur and ask yourself, what can I do to solve this problem? What can I say that will help this problem or this person? It doesn't matter necessarily to solve the problem, but the fact that you ask yourself is enough to ignite your thought process into guiding you into the right direction due to a reflection process in your brain that can also help to sort out negative input projected by others. Look into your imagination to come up with solutions that will help you to come up with new and creative ideas into solving these problems. There will be time when others come up with solutions that really aren't solutions but a setup, and when someone makes a statement about a solution that many will say is right until you question it. If a solution doesn't solve a problem, you can choose to come up with another solution. If a problem continues to occur, plan to brainstorm a solution. Basically, sit back and tap into your imagination, maybe even look into the problem with books or a computer, verify, validate, make sure the best solution to the exact problem, then initiate it. Find other people that may have gone through the problem and also find that input. Read about it, study it, pray about it, sleep on it, and most likely when the time you wake up, you would come up with a great solution in order for you to benefit. And it doesn't require you killing your enemy, but as a matter of fact, it may require you for helping them and both growing into a better understanding, as for them to understand, okay, well, this person is not like the other people who are actually trying to hurt one another from either a left or a right or a black or a white perspective. Do not become negative. If you want, you can choose to imagine the worst that can happen just so you can understand it and you know that you can overcome it, and chose to overcome this situation, and therefore you will arise and empower yourself over these problems. And then there will be subjective to you because they are no longer solidified as fact. The media is often guilty of this negative conditioning to the problem of the month, and sometimes it's just the problem of the day. They're continuously focused on problems and problem projection, and they're giving you not only the facts of what had occurred, but that's not the point. The point is that then they start projecting their beliefs. How horrible, this is awful, it's so hot, it's so hot, it's so cold, it's so cold, and they're just repetitive. It's just like a mockingbird, and everybody's negative conditioning over and over again. It talks about corruptions and problems that exist, and they don't like what's going on. It's okay to talk about it, or they don't show the positive but would show the negative in order to create a general form, a consensus of energy, of sharing energy. And it will institute these thoughts and general perceptions of people towards other people, and their understanding of what is truth and lies, not based on truth and lies, but based on a projection that was projected on them. And sometimes they would use emotions in order for you to back up, or for them, or the person watching the show, to be empathetic towards the negative, as opposed to being empathetic towards the positive. And these are negative conditioning and perceiving negatives, and in which these are all crimes against humanity, because you are these institutions, and it's just basic structures all over the planet. It is not like to say, well, one particular country does it, but it's all of them. Everyone's using the very same playbook. Do not worry about knowing all the knowledge. Soon you will be enlightened to the everything.